I guess Fort Smith jumped. I guess First National jumped on them.
Which
Possibly somebody like that, farmers or somebody, put their name all over those fields.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Because I was thinking about asking how many fields was control? Oh, so it's not like it's not.
No, it's just like the surrounding. It's not even like no.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least get him started, maybe. How you doing? When we gonna eat some crawfish? Huh?
We do.
We didn't even.
I wouldn't.
I didn't go. Saturday, it wasn't very busy when I went on Friday night because they had just gotten through. But then it was really good Saturday. They said he's sitting right there. That day. It was 21 seconds. It was $20 for a Walmart bag full of it.
Yeah, the green lights.
Or that sausage in the bag. No, we were Walmart.
Okay, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah.
It was good. My wife said it was good. Like,
Cheers to that.
the no name bag and just sign crooked.
Hey, it wasn't Garrett's lips bubbling up good. Like when you and John cooked it that time, and Garrett's lips swelled up. That's how I like it.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can make that option.
Like when we were at John's house, and he goes, "This is a special batch." He said, "Who wants some of that?" I was like, "Go ahead and throw me some in there."
Yeah, I'm good with putting up your estimation. What we do? Huh? So he's going to. So we could do 3 for the fences. That's 25%. We could do, if Randy asked for half. That takes up to 6. We'll push the one back.
You hear what I'm saying?
So I'm thinking we do 25% for the fence. So that's 3. And then we do 25. We do half of the fair if Randy asks for anything for the fair. So that's another 3. So that's the 6 that we do for the run. And since that's not till February, we can move that to the next week and then still do a full for the road.
Right, sure. You do it again. I'm good.
Okay.
Works. You okay with that? You good with that?
Oh my God, it's gonna be awesome.
That's what you just gotta take some.
I just sent y'all a text.
The mics are loud too. So mics are on. Be careful.
Okay, it is 4 o'clock. I just start the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got a text.
Call this AP Commission meeting to order and call the roll. Sammy Hassan.
Here.
Rod Powell. Not here. Hayden Smith.
Here.
Rod Powell, or Chris Gosh.
Here.
AC Brown. And Chris Bader. I'm here. So if everyone will take a look at the minutes and review those.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Who made that motion? Sorry.
I did.
You did.
Motion.
Sammy, second.
Yep.
If you would take a look at your financial statements and review those.
What was your outcome with 22?
We have crickets
Okay.
from, I did send you a copy of what was sent. And I meant to talk to the owner last night when we were at the county meeting, and they got away from me before I was able to coach them. Shouldn't have to do that though.
24 is no longer there, right?
It's a new one.
It's changing,
But they're
different
not-
owner, right? Yeah.
Right.
See? What do you see? So what's our next course of action for 22?
What's that?
Someone go there.
Did they send the letter? And,
I sent a copy of it to y'all.
yeah, but I mean, any response?
No.
Nothing. So it goes back further than the March and the February.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Since the start.
Since they started.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been nothing in, was
Well,
that May,
I think
May
one
last year?
payment or something came here due last year, just because to stay out of trouble or whatever. Like,
Does the city offer anybody to go down on behalf and ask, or is that forbidden for us to go down there?
oh no, it's not forbidden. It's not permitted by any kind.
But does the city provide somebody to do that for us, or do we have to do that?
Wasn't
anything last year.
Yeah, then they
Do
paid
a visit,
once,
Yeah.
and then with
So
certified
the
letter.
chairman or the temporary chairman? The temporary chairman do the visit?
We can let the chairman, we can vote the chairman to do it,
But it's,
since he's not here.
Because he's not here?
there's been a lot of events, so. I mean, I've personally talked to him. And then the letters.
And are they saying they're collecting? Or they're
There's-
not collecting, or they don't know
They
about it?
They blamed it on the accountant.
And that they were getting a new one.
And then they said they assured me they would set their register 1% higher and start collecting it, and then you don't hear anything. So if you want me to tell the city attorney to take the next steps, whatever they are,
Do we need to vote on that? Do we need to do a motion in a second? Or does it just come from
it's whatever makes you feel good.
the chair?
I mean, so we need to do something, that's why I just didn't know
Yeah.
if somebody from City Hall, or if we could see if Mike would go down there and talk to him personally, take the paperwork.
Yeah, I mean, I think we,
Twice.
yeah, I think we've kind of
Exhausted
exhausted
what we
those.
Well, if
And
nothing
people-
happens, it just sets a precedent
Yeah,
that
with
there's
people
no,
talking to them,
no
people sending
penalty.
letters, if there's
needed
nothing that's
then.
gonna happen, everyone else is gonna start.
Yeah,
Well,
Nothing
hey,
happened.
We know they're just gonna send a letter, and nothing's gonna happen.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Most of the time we get caught up when we do what we've done.
Oh, yeah, usually a letter will work.
Okay.
I sent a letter, here's the deal, talk to him, I sent it, talk to him again, nothing. Then the city attorney sent the letter, there's just been nothing, at one time. And
um,
it was just some money, not even a form, and I asked him to fill a form out.
they just,
Yeah.
like you were shaking them down like the mafia.
For protection.
Well, do we want to vote, or just want it to come from the chair to pursue the next course of action?
I think we're pretty much all in agreement. I just don't know what the next, what is, I
What,
mean,
yeah.
Go
you
ahead.
said already send us letter
I
from the city
recommend a
attorney.
motion to let the city attorney pursue the next course of action.
Do I have a motion? To have the city attorney pursue the next course of action against number 22?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second? All in favor?
Yeah.
Were there any more questions on the financials?
Those tax.
About 90 days, it shows again.
Yeah.
Put a big pink sign, you see a pink sign, you don't know what it means.
There's no more questions on the financials. Do I have a motion to approve the financial statement?
There's no.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Unanimous?
All right, grant request. First up, we got Key Sunday, the Sebastian County Boys and Girls Club for the fencing.
Back again. Y'all need any more information? I think we went over it all last time for the fence along Hester Cut. I think 750 square foot or the lengthwise. And I think it's going to end up, I'm sorry, I was out on the fields with the parent. It's running around 1,400, I think, or 14,000. And I think we asked for 10 of it. Is that right?
15, 5, 12.
Yeah. We didn't ask for the whole total from y'all though.
Yeah, the original request was for 12.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And so kind of where we're at right now as a commission is, we're not gonna, with the requests that are on the kind of the docket tonight, we're not gonna be able to fully fund all of them tonight. Would 3,000 be able to get you started on that and then come back at a later?
Well,
meeting, or-
well, I think at the last meeting y'all offered 4. And I said, and we talked about that wouldn't really, we need to do it all at one time. And that's the reason y'all brought me back and put me first on this one.
That wouldn't get the contractor started, you don't think?
Well, here's the problem with doing that. Yeah, he could get started and he could tear some down and then we could help put some money, but he's going to want to take it all down at one time. And in this next month, you're going to have, 1,500, 2,000 people out there with no fence on Hester Cut Road with a bunch of kids out there. So that's the reason we didn't want to just, tear it down and go, okay, this is how much it costs to tear down. You can do this. And
What are y'all thinking down there?
Based on the availability of funds, I don't see how we can do more than 25%.
Yeah.
Not right now.
I mean, I just.
Is it something that has to be done? I mean, the fence is there currently.
the fence
right?
is there, yes, and it's,
So it's something that we could look at. Yeah, we can look at maybe doing further down the road because of some of the stuff we've got coming up that we need for this. Or
right. Well, I mean, yeah, that's our decision if you want to put it back, but,
Yeah, I think kind of based on the current financials, I think it'd be best to kind of table this one to the next meeting and see if we have the funds at that time. Will that work for you?
yeah,
Okay. Do we need to,
Does he have to come for that? Or
or
is that
just put it at the top of the list without
That's what we
having
did
to
this
bring
time.
them down?
that's what we did
That's what
for
we did
this
this time.
month, because all you had was
Yeah,
$4
and
grand
we
last
still don't have it.
month. And I understand,
So you're wanting to put it up there and him not have to come?
Is that an
That's
option
why you
to
want it.
consider?
Me,
You want to look
I
that
think
up?
our bylaws say that somebody has to be here, but.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask for money and not be here.
Yeah,
We-
do that. Just
you
wait.
know.
Yeah, we just
I mean,
where we have is just so much,
I
limited
appreciate y'all.
funds.
That's it. I mean,
You just table it again.
All right, let's,
I'll make a motion. We table it till next meeting.
all right, do I have a second?
yeah, second.
All in favor?
Sorry, Keith.
Thank y'all.
I'll put it on first next.
Greenwood Adaptive Playground Project.
I think this is something that we discussed a couple meetings ago. And there was some contention on whether this was actually a city project. We took this for the Parks Commission and City Council, and you have a resolution in front of you showing that the money for the park is in a restricted fund specifically dedicated for this park. So, the sole use of this money in this restricted fund can only be used by the city for this. In our minds, that's what made this an approved project. I think probably, what's right?
It's on the tablet.
Yeah, sorry.
That don't-
I also gave a breakdown of all the financials for the project. So it should show you the total project budget, and then also how much we have raised so far as a group. Our small local group has raised $22,000. So it shows that we do have skin in the game also have plans for multiple fundraisers in the future. These guys organized an amazing spring market at Bell Park this weekend. I don't know if y'all were able to attend or not, but they raised $3,000 in a weekend. They had 61 vendors show up at Bell Park, and they bootstrapped everything. So it's really cool to see. They're doing an outstanding job of trying to spread the word inside of the community, and just working really hard to make it happen. So it shows you how much we've raised so far. We actually have a $100,000 contribution from Farmers Bank as well. And then Steve Beam Construction has offered some in-kind services that we're estimating that's around $40,000. And he's also offered to GC the project as a whole. So we have an extremely reputable general contractor that's going to take care of our stuff. I don't necessarily have a specific amount that I'm requesting. I would love to see the MP Commission sponsor a piece of equipment.
I think as we talked about, and you gave us, there's one in here twice, but I'm assuming could be either or.
That's great. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one lump sum. I know in the past we've kind of come to agreements to where we do month to month, year to year.
What's your time frame realistically as to what you guys are hoping to?
I would like to see it happen next year. We're going to apply for the outdoor recreation grant with the state. And my angle with them is that they're going to be the ones to get us to the finish line. And that's $250,000. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year, we can be either between in-kind and cash donations, we can be close to the $750,000 mark.
By what time?
By the end of this year. Their grant presentations are usually in October.
I was just wondering, in a lot of things that we got, that are kind of coming up, that if we could just, again, kind of like table you two till next month,
Coming back. I mean,
yeah.
Well, the other thing we could think about for us, the next is, okay, we've got some dollar amounts now. What do we feel like we want to fund, and is there a way we can set it up to do so much a month
We could do something like that.
until January?
Tom's really good about appropriating, setting stuff up to where we would just appropriate so much a month.
Right.
If we pick up,
Right.
pick
And
a
at the
piece
end
of
of the
equipment.
deal, if for some reason it falls through and you guys can't do the park, it's not like our money's been spent or our money's never been given to them. So it'll just go back in the general fund for us to use.
I think
someplace
that
else.
I know this park will happen. I just don't know at what scale or whether we tier the project or phase the project. Start with a good chunk of it and then just try to finish it off.
And like I said, there are grants you're trying to,
Yeah,
Go
this
for it.
list. So the state grant is a big one. That's $250,000 is the max. We have applied for the Deegan Foundation grant. Our combo sometimes was around $50,000. The Session Community grant that's local to Greenwood, we can apply for that, and they're typically around $25,000.
well, I think that's what I'd say. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a worthy project, and I like how your group is already going out there and they're saying that was a very good, successful fundraiser this past weekend. 3,000. So I see that you've got some committed folks there, and I was thinking that the things that are on our plate that are coming up, that if we could kind of again postpone,
That's
or table you till next month, that
And
would
if
give us some more funds for this.
I don't know if it's allowed, but maybe I just have the benefit of being a city employee. If you guys want me to try to work with Tom to get a game plan put together, I can come with a plan.
Just come to the next meeting and let us know what you.
Well, I think if we could just kind of talk about, what we decided to want to first fund
Yeah.
and then come up,
You got
as you would, Tom,
Yep.
to come up with the game plan.
Yep.
That
I
would
mean,
work.
what do you guys, and I'm not saying we need to decide now, but I mean, we kind of got 4 choices here to choose from, right? He's got 4 different things on here.
So will it be, I'm guessing like with the 2 treehouse, like one treehouse on each end and then
That's
one
correct.
connecting it, something like that?
So we'll make a motion to table him until the next meeting and maybe you can see if you come up with some
Okay.
ideas, game plans. But
Yep.
is that
I'll
okay?
second that.
Oh, you gotta add.
Do I have a motion?
Yes, I motioned it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Sorry, without the boss around.
Greenwood Farmers Market on the square.
So this is me again.
Again? Okay.
We had originally had a small committee involved in this. And I think she had approached you for some funds. She has since left the committee. And I think Charlotte, you can help me out just because you were involved in this. You had a discussion with Taylor, and Taylor said that she was okay with transferring the funds that you guys granted to her to me or to.
She said, she's totally, she asked me to talk to Casey if he would take it over. She said, as far as she goes, she's not gonna take it over, but he wants to administrate it and keep going with it, and by all means do that.
And so you're saying we have
We gave her some funds already for
Yeah.
plastic bags and stuff to
Right.
give it a shot.
But it was
One of the
already,
big things we were talking about too was with the artisan market going on, how it was, were you guys working together, conflicting? How was that working?
not conflicting at all. They'd be on opposing dates. As I understand, they're on the first, we'd be on the third.
So what would be the difference from us you guys I mean, we've already given her the money. So at the end of the day, you're just asking for a different person to take the money for the same thing? Is that what
No,
we're?
you wanted to use the money for a different reason, for different things than t-shirts and bags.
Oh,
You wanted it-
okay.
You wanted to convert the money to be used for like advertising.
Right.
and so really just all kind of convert to the artisan market, right? Or not try to do 2 things.
On the square.
No, not with the RG. Separate markets.
So you still want to try to do 2 separate markets.
That's correct. Yep.
I guess that's the way I was termed that y'all were talking about maybe combining or something. Did I
No.
misread that or
There was-
something?
There was always going to be 2 separate farmers markets, and it was never the intention for our group to step on the other group's toes.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we've already granted money for something and you're just asking for us to change it to something else.
I think the original idea was for it to look a little bit cleaner. Instead of it being in Taylor's name, it could be in my name for our group. And then also we wanted to use the money more towards advertising instead of knickknacks.
Do we have to have an official request? Because I mean,
Yes,
our
because
group,
you
Because the
don't
grant was
allow-
specifically
you were very
for-
specific about
yeah.
t-shirts and bags.
yeah. So you'd have
So
to
all you
ask
gotta
for
do
a
is
different
vote
grant
to change
request.
it to whatever.
Is that not on the agenda? Is that not why we're on the agenda?
That was a
Oh,
change
okay.
request. On the
Okay.
agenda is that grant change request.
And what kind of marketing do you have in mind?
So that we use Facebook marketing, and the reason that we use Facebook is just so that we can target specific demographics in specific areas. And that's what I use for Freedom Fest. That's what I use for Fall Fest. That's what we use some for that spring market, and it's highly successful.
And with that, that 13, 12 or whatever it was, 13, 14, how long would that cover the whole season or?
$1,300 is like $1 million in conventional advertising. That's an exaggeration, but it's probably 5 times your money in conventional advertising
So it
on
would,
Facebook.
so it would probably cover you for the
Just be an
the
even
season.
swap, and we would disperse it throughout each individual.
So all you're doing is letting us know that you're going to change it from what we originally agreed to let you use it for advertising.
I just want to make sure that I'm still in y'all's good graces.
And yes,
So we fund his treehouse in a
Yes.
couple months.
what he said, exactly what.
And the tree.
He
That's-
just wants to move it to advertising, which is
Yes.
within our realm of where we'll pay.
Yes,
If
I
it's
want
on
to
full
vote
camera.
on it to let him use it for advertising and acknowledge that he's going to be over it and not the initial grant request.
Okay, yeah, do I have a motion to change the name on the grant to
Well, it's to change the administration of the grant.
change the administration of the grant to Casey and then change the grant to, from knickknacks to advertising?
I'll make that motion.
Better word. We got a motion? A second? Second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Greenwood Rodeo.
Afternoon. I'm Ken Prim with the Greenwood Roundup Club. Come to you this afternoon with a lot of excitement around the 77th Annual Greenwood Rodeo, which was the grant request is for. And that's based on the success that we had last year, which was by far the biggest and best rodeo that we've had in many years. The reason being, we were fortunate enough to sign a multi-year contract with a stock contractor that we thought was an up and coming at the time. What we didn't realize was how quick he was up and coming. And after the June rodeo here and his subsequent rodeos, he stacked up several awards for the year, which I was privileged to go to Las Vegas in December to the National Finals Rodeo and be with him to gather up some of those. He was named Stock Contractor of the Year. His stock was Bucking Bull of the Year. He had Medium-Sized Rodeo of the Year. Anyway, all this creates quite a platform for this year for us to build off of. At the same time, he was nominated and elected to compete in the TV series, The Ultimate Cowboy. I don't know if anybody knows anything about it. Ended up winning it all around. His name is. So we've got him for 2 more years for sure. I don't know what we'll be able to do after that.
What's his name?
And Tyler Keechop, TK Rodeo. And on top of that, as most of you probably know, country singer Toby Keith, who passed away a couple of months ago, who ironically had some ties here in Greenwood about the fishing lure manufacturing, but he was close friends with Tyler. And so this year's rodeo series is in honor of him, and it's called You Should Have Been a Cowboy, which was one of his hits. So you're going to see a tremendous amount of advertising. Is what we're asking for, and billboards and a lot of different media. That I Should Have Been a Cowboy rodeo tour coming to Greenwood, Arkansas, brought to you in part by Greenwood A&P. So we've got already got a tremendous amount of interest in competitors because of the quality of the stock and the history around it. And I don't know if anybody had a chance to spend any time at the facility, but based on the success we've had out there, we've been able last year to put new bucking chutes in. We cleaned and painted the bleachers on both sides. Right now, we've got a project underway. We're adding steps and handrails to facilitate some of our disabled and elderly people there to get up and down the steps. So we've got a lot going on there. I've got a couple of dozen volunteers in the group that are working year round to make this a success. And also we were able to have some fundraising in addition to the rodeo last year, and ended up being a major partner with the Greenwood Police Department, Shop with a Cop, which was a big success. And we'll be doing that again this year based on this. So we'll be having our parade. The rodeo is June 7 and 8. Rodeo parade on the 8th. We've got some things in the works around our contractor on that to showcase a lot of things there, and we'll have quite a bit of media participating in that. So basically the same request that we had last year. We could just ask for a little bit more to help us cover the contract. Be delighted to answer any questions.
I make a motion that we approve the 18.5.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Sir, can I get you to sign this grant? Oh, you already did. Sorry. I looked at the blank space. Thank you.
2025 VFW Run Walk for Warriors 5K.
Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing? Ready for this all to end tonight, right? Not sure. So for those of you who may not know me, I'm Tanya Taylor and I'm commander of the VFW here in Greenwood. And we have been hosting our VFW 5K Run Walk for Warriors. And we're very thankful that the AMP has been funding our race, because every penny that we have been collecting, that our sponsors have been donating, and when people sign up for our race, all of that people have been giving to us, we're very honored to say goes directly to our relief fund and has been goes directly to helping all of our veterans in need in our local area here. What that means is a veteran that is in need of help with their mortgage or electric or water bill or anything. If there's been a death in the family, we're there to help. Our motto is we want to help veterans before they become destitute. There's lots of programs in our area for homeless veterans, and we want to be there before they become homeless. It's very easy for people in general. They get into a financial bind. Something happens with their vehicle or a water heater or anything, and you can easily get into a downward spiral with your finances. Things can go wrong in your marriage. It's easy. I know we've all been there. And this is just our way of veterans helping veterans. That's our mission. We've been very thankful and successful with our race. We have never raised less than just over $11,000 each year to go into this fund. This year, we have raised, this last 5K, we raised over $16,000 to go into this relief fund. And all the praise and thanks to your help. We had brought it to your attention last year that we were opening it up to include another option in our race, to include dogs. And this, we wanted to show you a sample. We normally have t-shirts to give to you guys. Well, I'm happy to say that we ran out of our shirts and our medals this year. That's how many people came. So anyway, for our dog winners, we had dog collars, and I don't know if you guys have any pets or anything, but we wanted to give you a sample. I don't have enough, but.
I've got a miniature now.
Okay. Stand up from
That's
back.
fine, you're
You
fine.
were one, but
RJ.
but we wanted to show you also, here's a sample, and if you can just pass these down, these are types of the medals. So the dog tag is on all of the medals here, and everyone had one of these as our participation medals. And these are one of the other medals that we got, because you have first place winners and then participation medals and such. So here's a couple of samples of the medals that we
Making
had.
it work out. That's really nice, Amy.
But
Very nice.
honestly, we ran out because we had more participants than we expected. So we have on order more shirts and medals and everything. So I'm sorry that I don't have enough to give you all samples.
Take that one back and give it to somebody else.
Well, you can have, we do have those, but anyway, so I come before you to ask if you guys are able to help us again for our next race.
So how many runners did you have last year?
We had, I don't have the number with me, but it was over 200 runners. And the year before, and it was due to weather, I believe, we only had like 144 runners. So we had a good amount more this year.
And you raised $16,000.
And we raised over $16,000. This was just in February, last month.
I'll make a motion that we grant the fund request.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you for your work.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
You guys do all the work.
Mission comments. If none?
Nope.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second?
Can I ask a question before? So would it be possible for the commission to come up with a tax form for food trucks? So when they come to our event, that, because in the state tax package that we pass out, I don't believe that A&P tax is in there. And we want to make sure that we're collecting it because we feel that that's something that needs to be done.
If the guy in front of you can
I
probably.
would say that was something that we've had a discussion with, that the mayor was gonna help us.
We were talking about it earlier, and I thought it was.
I mean,
already in there,
I'll put it
so
on.
My
Sure.
bad, or bad, whatever. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Charlotte, did we not work? Charlotte, sorry, did we not do that already?
What is it?
Attack the form for the A&P trucks, for the trucks, I'm sorry, an A&P form specific to the vendors, I thought we did, okay.
And so we don't, we haven't created one for like the Freedom Fest or anything? in it?
No, but I heard, aren't we charging?
Our committee decided to take just a flat rate, so every food truck's paying $100.
Okay.
But y'all didn't know that, I don't think.
Yeah, that-
It's been discussed, and they did that, but we don't have it down in any of the minutes. of the
I say there was a discussion a while back when we were talking about the permanent ones trying to come up with a solution. We went to a high number and we discussed that maybe we weren't doing our fair share of getting the information to them properly for them to properly pay us, and maybe we should try that first. But I never heard what was the outcome of that, so it was never brought back up.
Yeah, I would just like a form that I can give with my tax, with the state tax packet that we get. That way we can make sure that.
Well, if
Our vendors.
Freedom Fest is doing $100 per, why don't you just do the $100?
This is just for event
This
based.
is for.
Yeah.
And that assumes that everybody's making $10,000 in a day, right? On a 1% tax.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's more than fair, in my opinion.
I promise you it's more than fair.
Okay. I'm saying across the board, if you have the mini donut guy paying $100, he's not making $10,000.
But is there an official form that we can get for them
Well,
to,
we can make one, because we're gonna need something, and it really, I think.
but it doesn't need to come from us, does it? Does it need to come through the city's paperwork that they get?
Because wouldn't it be similar to what, like a brick and mortar gets when they get their privilege license and everything?
Privilege license, yeah, but we have privilege license.
Well, Casey, how did you do it? Did
Our
you,
plan was just to take the $100 from each individual food truck and remit it back to AP fund.
Yeah, he said
You
it.
guys.
so did you have a form or did you,
We stipulate we stipulate on their sign-up form that can be sent back to the AP tax. And then they have the option to pay.
So there's really no way to track though on our end who pays what. We're just getting some money.
Oh, no, it will be tracked. Did your mom not
So when we-
gather something from us? I'm acting like I don't want to talk about it. But did she not get something from us for you guys to be able to use out at the court?
They come down here to get that,
Right, okay, so she just got information.
to make sure they come and get it from you guys. Yeah.
I think it's wise, and like I said, we talked about it, and I think we must have, I guess I'd let it slip through the cracks or whatever, so we can come up with something. Because event is one thing, but the court's different, in my opinion, or something else comes along. And I think there's a good point made here. I agree with you, I think it's a pretty good deal for $100, but there's always a snow cone mom and pop thing that may
That's
not-
what I was.
They may not be making $10,000.
Well, I think we got into the discussion.
$100 is still chump change.
But we're charging.
Yeah.
We're charging them a $450 fee to park at the fair for that week.
And we wanted to avoid,
So their total would be $550. Is that what you're saying?
And then they're still gonna have to come get a permit from the city for all non-city approved events.
Yeah, the city.
Does that include a fee too?
Yeah, I mean, they would have to pay the permit fee.
Freedom Fest, Fall Fest is different because we don't charge those. That fee, right? That's correct.
So it would be just much easier if we had a form that we could give him and he could collect
It's
it.
hardly got used. I mean,
Right.
It's good to have a form.
Yeah.
So Hunter, what is
He wants
that?
to
Is
use
that a
it.
privilege license fee, $25, or what is that fee?
The $25 permit fee, and then the first year is $100 A&D fee that we charge as far as my permit's concerned, and every additional year is $50 plus the $25 permit renewal. So first year is $125 plus a privilege license if they don't already have one active.
So is that for permanent or for trucks that visit any event?
Trucks that visit any event, so it's good for the year.
So then they're gonna pay $125 for that permit and then $100 for
Casey's,
Freedom Fest, so they're paying $250. So I need to be doing something different because this is my week.
yeah, we haven't really pushed the issue in the past, but it's something that we need to start looking at as far as either having your events approved by the city.
Yeah, you're charging 1%, that way somebody's not making more.
Or they would have to be subject to the permit requirements.
All right, now Hunter, break that down for me again. You say the first year it's a $25, of course, the privilege fee.
Yeah, so every year is a $25 permit fee.
So it's easier just to
So we're
put
down.
100 flat rate and just.
$100 for the first year, $50 for the subsequent years.
So every money that the city takes in has to be receipted in with a numbered receipt. The auditors are very clear, they look for that, every single bit of it has to have a number associated with it to track the money back to where it came from, right? So what we could do on this A&P fee, is anybody that was paying this mobile vendor fee or whatever you want to call it for A&P, like the ones you're talking about at Freedom Fest, right? And the whoever's, the $100 every time for an event, can come to the water office and say, I need to pay this, whatever we're gonna call it, fee. Oh, it's not a mobile vendor permit fee, right? Food truck A&P fee, I guess.
When
And that's a numbered receipt that they will issue on that, and they can write in the line on it for food truck A&P.
But you're saying
And that can be the way we track it or have a receipt for it.
the A&P fees, you said the first year is $100 and the second year is $50
Correct.
if they come back.
Every subsequent year is 50.
And so that
So why is it $125 a second?
The first year, that was what was decided on by this commission, what, was that last year, the year before?
$25 fee for the city, for the privilege.
Yeah.
license.
$25 fee and then a $100 A&P fee.
They told me the fee to set was $150.
Well, it was talked about, I don't know.
Talked about it, it was also-
If it's not the ordinance.
It is.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so then I have one more question. If they pay the 125, then are they still responsible to pay the 1%?
No.
That's what I'm kind of set there. So you're saying the A&P fee, the $100, did you say it goes to the A&P?
The 100 does.
$100.
It's just a flat rate instead of trying to collect a 1%,
Right.
correct?
I
So-
don't think so. I think it's in addition.
It's in addition to.
Well, I'm thinking not. I mean, the way I look at it, if it's a $100 A&P fee, then I think that's really
And they'll
covers.
Still collect the 1% though.
Two
You
So,
can't
so do
say
you have a stack of those checks where those people have sent those checks in? A copy of them? Or there's zero of those checks?
I don't know what-
The 1% check or the
Yeah. He's asking if you get paid. Do we get paid from any of these that are?
the
currently
1% part?
Yeah, we're supposed to be collecting the 1% on everybody because you can't exempt them from the tax.
What I'm asking you is, you said we're supposed to be collecting. Does anybody pay it?
Some do.
And pennies, they do.
Well, I guess what I was saying, if we could say this A&P fee is the 1%. I mean, other than, because I don't know where we just ever charged an A&P fee just for,
I thought
Being
that was
there.
the plan too, is the problem with her, if you have a vendor who shows up, who doesn't pay, we have no way to audit them, go find them, track them down. So we were thinking the flat rate would just say, you know what,
Just
that's
a
good.
prepay,
We'll call it and you don't need to pay the 1%.
just
That
prepay
was
before
kind
the
of what
part.
we.
that's what I'm saying there. So
But
if he's
also-
charging,
I understand we can't do that.
That's what I think we talked about in the meeting, and that's when it all turned into,
Because it's a tax.
We got to get
and it's
city
levied
involved
on
and then
all.
it's gone away.
And you can't just pick and choose.
'Cause you'd be
who
overtaxing-
does it.
You'd be overtaxing somebody.
We're not, we're choosing that if they're a vendor,
But
they're
our
doing that when they sign up.
levying that doesn't say
We have to change our ordinance.
Okay.
And that's you guys on Monday night.
I guess so, yeah. But I'm just thinking that,
Let's call Daniel.
we're there, yeah, there you go. To me, we're doing it twice. If we're charging them $100, when they come in and it's going to the ANP, and then we're saying we're going to charge them another $100 that we're just saying is going to cover a 1%. I'm thinking, well, we're doing it twice.
I thought the $100 was just to make it easier, just to go ahead and collect.
That was
No.
my, that was my.
That's okay.
That's pretty.
So
But
that's what
I agree with you. It's
Yeah.
easier to collect, but I mean, we're doing it twice.
No, I didn't know about the 1% after is what I'm saying. I thought that's what the $100 was for. Just saying this is going to cover your taxes for.
But I'm saying that,
For events only or anytime?
For events only. Like if they were coming in to do the Freedom Fest,
Yeah, on the events.
it's like, hey, this is your one-time thing that's gonna cover.
Yeah,
Right.
on the
We
events.
estimate, like an estimated tax instead of.
I think the separation of the two events is what's the most confusing because basically the city events are more or less exempt.
And here's the thing, we haven't decided anything for sure on the events. They came up with the $100, but y'all and nobody has voted on that or said this is what we're gonna do. It's just been tossed around.
And all he wants is a sheet of paper.
well,
We started asking for a piece of paper. to get us some more
21
money.
minutes ago, we started asking for a piece of paper.
and I think Hunter says we've got an ordinance, right, Hunter?
We have mobile vendor permit form.
Yeah.
Regulation.
So I think to your question, we need to, maybe next time come prepared to look at the ordinance, have it in front of us and see, because I really don't think we wanted to hit them twice.
Yeah.
That was not the intention.
Yeah, that was not the intention and stuff. And kind of break it down to see how Hunter's got it in there for whether it's, because the way I see it, you're saying it covers them for the whole year. So if they come back to some other thing, they're still covered for that. So it's,
But you're saying that we cannot do that, correct?
That's right, and Bob Purvis is very.
She's saying we can't do the $100 and not do the 1%.
So we need to put this on the agenda for next meeting to have him bring the ordinance and try
Yeah,
to
we're,
figure this out.
we'll put it on the agenda next.
So we can get
So
the
we figure
ordinance,
this
be
out.
look at it, figure it out.
We'll get the tax ordinance
Okay.
and the mobile vendor regulation ordinance together and figure it out. I'll put it on the next agenda.
I think you sure you can
That
do
sounds
some
like fun.
fee in lieu of tax.
You would think so. That's pretty.
Hopefully we get
like
you some form.
simplistic.
Yeah. For like saying,
I'm not sure if
for transient or whatever
everybody
vendors,
is
mobile
interested in
vendors.
transparency.
there was
and
I guess my
simplicity.
concern is, because if there's the permit to be able to operate in Greenwood, and then we're throwing more on top of them. I understand, but when they're coming in for a special event, why would they be exempt in city events, not other events?
It's just city-sponsored events.
Well, what he's saying, you're saying they're exempt. You're saying they're exempt from the, like a setup fee or something like that, right?
Freedom Fest is free. That's
That was the whole point of
That's
the-
the phrase that has rang true since the beginning. of
So where do you
time.
charge $100 at?
Sorry,
Where do you say you charge the $100 at?
for the food vendors only.
We're starting.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about food vendors. And so at the rodeo, we're talking about food vendors.
Right, but
The-
what's happening is there's a city permit fee of $125.
Well, and that's what we're looking at. We're saying that $25, $100 is an A and P. So we're trying to determine if we can use that as the total tax fee and everything.
Right now, the way the ordinance is written, no, you cannot.
My ordinance right now completely separates all city-approved events and it completely exempts them. So we've got $200 fees that's confusing everybody at the moment. My ordinance requires a $100 A&P fee for the first year. Casey and myself on the Freedom Fest committee decided, along with all the other committee members, to charge only the food trucks at that specific event a $100 A&P fee across the board, just for food vendors. That wouldn't apply to like our Fall Fest. It wouldn't apply to any other city festival.
Right. So I'm just saying though,
That's where we're getting confused right now.
so But you're saying if those vendors come back for the fall festival and everything like that, they're still covered with your fee.
With mine, yes. The fee that Casey's charging is outside of all of that.
The,
That is event specific.
That $100 is something that we felt like we should do at y'all's urging, more or less.
They brought it up. We were discussing the amount of money they were making there and then not paying taxes.
Authorized, no legislative body is authorized receiving that money, and a committee decided it, and I worried about it, and I just didn't say anything.
And I'm fine with that for Freedom Fest because, I mean, since it's a city function, normally you go to, I don't know, Bikes and Blues, whatever. I mean, they're going to charge you, just to have a booth there, I don't know, $1,000 or something like that. I don't know, but it's something I understand. So saying, we're providing electricity and everything like that, so at the city thing. Now, y'all saying y'all's charging a fee for them to be set up there.
Yes, we charge $450, but we supply them with 50 amps of electricity and water for the whole 5 days.
Right. So
No idea whether they're paying their 1% A&P tax because there's no form that he gives them to say, hey, when you collect your money, you need to pay this 1% to the city of Greenwood.
And so that's why I'm saying that there's two different things going on there. We're providing a booth, Freedom Fest, but we're still kind of charging, I guess, like basically if it's one-time vendor that comes in there, we're charging them $250, right? Or $225, $100, and then $125.
They're exempted from my 125 if they're at a city festival. My permit fee, my $100 A&P fee does not apply at a city festival.
Okay, but he's collecting $100. So that's what we're still trying to get at. Where it's kind of a universal $100 is what I'm trying to get at.
Separate them. Right now.
And so if we say that that 125 goes to y'all, then I would still look see that we're still collecting 125. It's not a city event, but it's outside that, because they're collecting a booth fee and stuff. We're with that 125, that $100 is really kind of our fee. If Charlotte says that, if a fee can substitute for a tax.
So what I'm hearing is that I will have a booth rental fee. I will have $125 permit fee that they will have to pay, and then 1% on top of that.
No,
Yes.
no.
Well, as it stands,
I just said the $100 is going to cover the fee, the A&P tax.
As it stands currently,
As it
what
stands
he
currently, there is a
stated is
1%.
correct currently.
Yeah.
Because you have an ordinance that states that they have to pay the 1%.
Yeah.
And then I have an ordinance that states they have to pay the $100. So we've got two ordinances that are requiring them basically to pay the same thing.
So we have two ordinances and no paperwork.
That's it. I mean, my ordinance is on paper.
So the hard part about this is that ordinance was created for food trucks and food truck parks and not necessarily events.
Right.
So it might help that we have like a special event section, just add a
It
special
does
event
have a-
section. Well, I'm saying, and we drill down a little bit more into that section to where these things are a little bit more further defined.
It says mobile
Yeah.
vendors may conduct business in parking spaces during festivals or approved events with the approval of the mayor or his designated representative. Rules and regulations specific to festivals and approved events will be provided by the festival or event administrator while on city property for other than festivals and approved events. This ordinance in its entirety applies. So there's a section for festivals.
Yeah, so basically if the mayor designated any festival, let's just use the fair as a city approved event, then now they would be exempted just like a city festival, like Freedom Fest.
If he says in writing.
Yeah, I mean, if he provided in writing or somehow,
So he has to have a proclamation.
maybe.
Because it's not city property.
So you're saying that, yeah, then for Freedom Fest, you charge nothing and Casey collects $100 for A&P. And so, Mayor, would you be all right to say that the rodeo is
I don't have a problem. What you read, Charlotte, because we've been talking about it a little bit. I mean, to me, it
Sounds
is.
like we're getting paid no matter what.
County property technically, that's all those things that can use that city. I know, I did that for you. But did you not say city property?
Yes.
And it does have an exemption to this whole thing. City festivals are approved events. It says provisions of the mobile vendor ordinance do not apply to children's frozen treat and beverage or city festivals or approved events. So if the mayor or his representative approves an event to be exempted from, this wouldn't apply.
So then you don't have to specifically collect from one person.
Right. Well,
You could take the.
No, we collect 1%, but we wouldn't pay his.
Exactly.
right. This is on the mobile vendor.
It'd be the permitting.
Two important things, I think, just if I may, my cent and a half. He needs a form.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a form. I think that's good to have anyway, no matter how each direction is good, is to have a form. Two is, I think it's wise to be careful, and I'm not just quoting Bob Purvis, but he has a point about trying to do a fee instead of tax. Tax is a tax. You can't replace it with a fee, to my knowledge. And I'm not
Right.
into it very much, but I don't think you can do that.
You don't want to open up that can.
No, you don't.
I don't think.
So that's my cent and a half. And that's more for an attorney to look into. We have one, so we'll put that before Travis and see. I just don't want to get anybody
Well, like you said,
taxed along.
but I thought we kind of agreed that, and I guess, yes, I agree with what you're saying too. You got to run that by. We want to be above board on everything, but that it's very difficult to,
We do it very.
for vendors that are, there's a one-time deal to try to, we can't even hardly do it for people that are bricks and mortar.
I agree too. It's difficult, but just because something's difficult doesn't mean you can do it this way.
Right, right.
I mean, it's a lot easier for Casey or anybody to walk around to this gentleman to go get $100 from his vendors. Right then, you don't have $100, you gotta go. And I'm sorry, you gotta pay up front, right, or whatever. That's easy. It's not easy for that person, but it's a lot more convenient to track them down. It's a pain. And by the way,
One and done.
this does not just apply to food trucks. Nobody knows that better than you guys. You have a list of your AP taxes.
Mhm.
It's not all food trucks that are.
That's what he's saying. We can't even get some brick and mortar
Yeah,
places
brick
to
and mortar
pay.
places.
I don't know what that answer is. I wish I did. We talked about using our code enforcement officer to be that person. That's still an option, I suppose, to
This-
go around and be a tax collector.
I do want to give y'all a minute to, when all of this was discussed prior, because these same questions, the same conversations have come up 2 or 3 different times and work. It's like we're just broken
In a
record.
circle.
Our ordinance that is in effect does say that all the food vendors have to pay 1% tax in addition to this $125. So right now, it's.
Unless
the way it is.
it's an approved,
Right, and it can be
Approved.
exempted. So far, we haven't exempted anybody, but
that's
it
something-
can be. So but that puts it on the mayor.
we could, if it is upon the mayor, we could probably look at that at the next monthly meeting to say, that you want to exempt the rodeo as a city festival.
Yeah, these are different. You got rodeo and fair.
I would be in favor of removing the A and P fees from my mobile food ordinance entirely and letting y'all collect your 1% out of y'all ordinance. That would keep planning and A and P completely separate from each other.
Well, that's
Well,
pretty much a mute point. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I think Charlotte could go back and look and find that nobody is reporting that income.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't think it's that nobody. You talking about trucks?
yeah, food vendors on,
That's not.
But they can.
There are some. I mean, you look on your sheet right here, there's
Yeah.
some.
but I mean, the ones that come in for
The events.
for the events.
It's easy exit. It's easy to not pay.
right.
And you have to understand too, I don't want to cloud you more, but the package that he's referring to, that Casey hands out for sales tax.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
Control of the sales tax.
Here's your package. Please pay yourself.
And so we have to, so at the fair, for example, well, I won't use that, that's probably respectful. All the vendors that came, we had to pass out a tax form with an envelope. They would return it to us on the last day with their reported earnings. If they fail to return it, the state also gets a list of every vendor that came, and then the state collects that. Now, with regards to A&P money, because we appreciate what y'all do, I will make sure that I will collect that 1% from all those trucks.
The other thing that's interesting at the fair, for instance, the state actually shows up at the fair and they actually collect money from you right there. They don't trust you. But they show up and expect you to give them a report and take the money.
They show up on the last day?
Yes, they show up the first day and tell you they're coming, and then they show up on the last day. And
We've never experienced that.
But at our farmers and artisans market, we pass out tax forms every month. And we collect on those probably about 90%. But those aren't gonna affect A&P because they're,
Yeah, IMP is not associated with state or any other thing. It's a local, completely local administration.
unless we get food trucks.
It's not prepared
Okay, I'll just take the form.
Well, I think, yeah, the next time, we need to try to look at the ordinance, because I'd like for it to, I like the idea that the mayor just declares it, keep the ordinance just the way it is, and say it's an exempted thing if the mayor approves it, and then that way we do have some kind of consistency, with everything because pretty much we always count on the rodeo every year, and so I think it is kind of we look forward to it. I think it's a city event and
This is
stuff.
nothing about Doug at all, it's not him, but when it says the mayor, I mean, a mayor is gonna want to exempt it for everybody that comes before him, so. It's gonna be.
Well, it's tough not to.
Exactly, anybody.
So as me, I try to look at it, and we've not done it yet, but I try to look and see, well, what is this event benefiting the city?
There you go.
And I mean, I know without a shadow of doubt, both of these do immensely. They're not only eating at the fair or the rodeo, they're stopping at your place, one of your places at some point, in my opinion.
But if a Satanist festival was happening, you probably wouldn't exempt it.
Yeah, and I know, and I'm not a brick and mortar owner, wasn't another lifetime. I know there is the thought that the more food trucks are in for a special event, the less likely you're gonna get some business from it. Maybe. I don't know anymore how that works. I'm pretending to know, I don't think so. But, and whether it's food or not, it's fuel. There's always something that the city benefits from any of these events.
Yeah.
A race, the 5K, other than having the most famous MC in the world, that thing that you failed to mention a while ago. But, those guys and gals spend the whole day in Greenwood, and I know they go to eat, but you don't feed them. But,
And the A&P is not here to get money back to brick and mortar stores. We're here to support the town and bring the town in. So if you show up to the crawfish festival, eat crawfish and never stop at a restaurant, that's okay.
Right.
You know Greenwood, you know the town, and you know where it's at, and you'll come back next year, and then it turns into more for the city. So that's why we're doing it.
The better everything gets.
Yeah. And I think the Freedom Fest was free because that was the city of Greenwood doing a Freedom Fest, and we didn't want to. The whole idea was we're not going to charge you to come and set up, and you can just do it for free. Now it's turned into such a big thing that it's kind of like maybe we need to start collecting some money because they're making money off of our freeness, and we're losing money because they are staying there and eating, and then they leave without anything.
Well, there's a new tool that I won't introduce it today, but I'll give you a hint. When we come, Casey and I are going to come present it to you, whoever else wants to in the city. Just look at this. I call it a tool that is going to be pretty amazing, in my opinion. And we're going to come to AFP to see what you guys think about it, or help you with it too. Because it's kind of scary at your phone, but you know you're being tracked. So there are these companies that take the information from your phone and told us already how many people attended the Freedom Fest last year. They could also tell us how many came and went during the day, and also if they went to the Beach Barn during the visit or not, or she knows or anywhere else. So there's a pretty neat, it's kind of irrelevant now, but it's a little bit relevant to what we're talking about. We're going to know a whole lot more about what's going on in the event, the fair, the rodeo, and everything else. So
It is a marketer's dream.
yeah,
Because I got to see,
what's it called?
I got to see very specific zip codes of where they came from.
Big Brother.
Big brother.
And that's,
All three of us in the room said, this is a little scary. He said, yeah, we get that a lot.
Yeah.
So.
but that doesn't tell you how much food items were sold.
It's told us that 14,000 people, 14,000 devices were at Freedom Fest for over 7 minutes.
Right. Which is, like I said, it's a good marketing tool to tell you, you know, the numbers and stuff. And you can kind of say, oh, if they spend like $6 an average.
It tells you that 6% of your attendance went directly to Taco Bell after they left Freedom Fest.
Right. But one person could have just,
Unfortunately, you can't track our A&P tax.
right. That's
It's trickling out.
yeah. And that's what, to me, we're trying to focus on. It's just trying to make it fair that our mobile vendors kind of have some skin in the game, just like our brick and mortar people do and stuff.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. So that's what our committee.
So are we gonna talk about this at the next meeting?
Next
We need to
meeting.
add this to the next meeting?
Yeah.
So we need to ask for a city ordinance.
I'll get written down.
Okay.
I'll get a couple minutes.
Can I make a motion to adjourn again?
Yeah, almost, yeah. Afraid to ask for any more comments. So,
Second,
motion to adjourn,
Third.
second to adjourn.
I made the motion. Either pick your second over there.
All in favor? All right, we're adjourned.
You want me to hit end stream?
But yeah, it's like we went from just a simple form to, oh my gosh, 40 minutes. 40 minutes on the form.
Fantastic.